Um, I just sorry.
Is this podcast a joke to you?
I got distracted because I'm reading Grayden's bio and it says, "Please don't report me." All right, welcome to the Live Connection podcast number 42.
Run report, Grayden. Oh, don't do it.
43. 43.
I put that there after the last time you guys reported me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, can I
I've
start
never
now?
done such a thing.
Who's here, Jarrod?
Here with us is Peter, Grayden, Evan, and Erik, and me, Jarrod.
You know, I asked Jarrod if he was
Professional.
ready to go, and he's like, "Yeah, I am."
He was absolutely not ready.
I gave
you know what's
him a
hilarious
countdown.
too? Jarrod can't even get his own intro right. But anytime anyone else gives the intro, he's the first one to interrupt every single time.
I can agree with this. I've been interrupted a great many times by Jarrod.
My God. I feel like every one of us has interrupted an intro to a podcast.
Don't try to freaking scapegoat, bro. You're the biggest culprit of this. It's all
I
on
feel
you.
like Matt's the biggest culprit.
That is a complete and utter lie. You are the biggest culprit.
Give
You are the
me
weakest link.
evidence.
You literally last podcast. Go watch the beginning of any podcast where you don't give the intro. You literally stole.
Okay, I will.
Peter's-
I'm gonna go
literally-
back. I'm gonna do a counter. Evan, you can mark my words that I'm gonna go back through all 42 podcasts and I'm going to mark down the podcast where I made a comment
Oh, you
in the
mean
beginning.
you're gonna go back and find the evidence of where you're wrong? I doubt
Of
that. There's a
where
big
I'm
bias right
correct.
there.
No. So no matter how I go about this, you're gonna deny it. Even if I find the evidence, you're gonna be like, no, you found it, so it's a biased.
It's fabricated.
No, if you actually like show me, put together a little video of all the intros, and I'll
Oh my
watch
God.
it through, and I'll count with you. We'll be like Vlad the Count Vampire from Muppets or whatever. What was his name?
Vlad the Count Vampire.
Oh wait, his name was just the Count because he counted.
No, the ones I did interrupt was when Peter told me that he says boom at the beginning of every podcast, so I started doing that, and then it
Yeah.
threw Peter off.
I say boom at the beginning of every single stream. That's my
Not
thing.
just podcast.
That's what I do.
Hey, so I went to our YouTube
No, I have a
channel and I
topic.
just picked a random podcast to test this theory, and the first one was correct.
Yeah.
All right, I am now going to this. I'm going to pick this one.
What number?
Number 30. Number 32. I'm picking number 32.
I think mine was 18.
And survey says.
It's almost there. Almost there. Give me a second. Here we
We're
go.
gonna get
hope
past
it's
our
not your
bad
little
internet.
intro.
Ball.
I'll have you know, yesterday he downloaded a game at 400 megabytes per
No.
second.
That one it did not.
There you go, 1 for 1 then. I guess we can leave this.
Anyways,
we can
I
leave
wanna-
this where it is and talk about it later.
I wanna introduce a topic. This is a topic that I think I really want to hear people's like actual opinions on, and it's kind of going about where do you think games need to go starting 2020? Because there's been a lot of issues with
What?
games in the last few years that have been bad launches, bad just overall shitty games.
Dude, you're literally it's just because you've been playing.
No, I'm asking in general. Like, why are you attacking me about this concept? I'm asking you a general question. Fuck.
Man, Evan's out for blood today.
Where do you
Yeah.
mean where they want to go? Like, are they going on vacation?
Like, what do you
or-
want to see in games in 2020 forward to make like to see games go in the right direction? Like, what do you guys want to see? Like, I don't know. Like,
More
talk about the
Doom
worlds.
Eternal.
Talk about the type of games. Talk about the stories. I don't know. What do you guys want to see going forward just in 2020 for games? Like, what are you expecting? What do you expect out of games going forward?
I expect them to be finished.
Hmm.
There's been
Yeah, but like, what
there's been-
do you look for? Like, I'll start us off just so you guys have an example, and I'll talk about open world games and maps and things like that. And I think for the most part, open world games. I believe I read that Death Stranding was like the full United States was the map.
Sorta.
What?
So
No,
it's like
was it?
It's
So-
supposed to be
be, but it's it's not 1-to-1 at all.
I love that
It's-
what from Evan.
Okay, so like,
It's so much
so
smaller.
my thoughts.
That's why people
my
thought it
thoughts
was a
are like,
walking simulator.
So my thoughts are going like, I don't know, when it comes to open world games, I feel like, especially if you're trying to be realistic, I think you should go for those bigger maps, like especially the new consoles claiming to be as powerful as they are and being able to handle what they can. I think
But-
honestly, a lot of open world games should be bigger. Like I feel like then you start sacrificing detail, and some of those games would
Well-
take forever to do a 1-to-1 for.
No, the biggest problem with an open world game and having a massive map is if you don't, which was the complaint about Death Stranding, if you have this map and you don't give people anything to do in it, then it's pointless. It's
Sea of
boring,
Thieves.
right?
Well, like
Even
I
Red
agree.
Dead
That's why I said-
Redemption.
that's why I said
people
there's
complain-
expectations
People
for it.
complain about how long it takes to ride the horse everywhere because it's such a massive map.
that's what I was
Right?
gonna say.
That's the
like,
biggest complaint about Breakpoint.
it already takes so long to get places. I don't stop it. Don't
Like-
make the
like
maps
Breath-
any bigger.
Breath of the Wild, I think, is one of the best examples in the last few years. Really good open world map, where even though there wasn't a lot to do in it, for whatever reason, there was something about that map that you just wanted to explore and find new areas, and it was just great. It was a great
There
map.
was stuff to do. There was the
There's always
shrines, there was
Korok
camps
seeds.
everywhere, Korok seeds.
Yeah,
I think
So
Red Dead
it's
2,
not
to
so much.
Peter's point, was another good one.
So it's not so much now with you guys talking about, it's not so much about map size, it's more about you want more in the map, like more put in. So not necessarily make a bigger map, but make a fuller map.
A more dense map.
yeah.
Because like this came up a lot with I mean, okay, yes, it was about Fallout when I was doing the research for it, but it came up a lot about that was there's different opinions on the map, and some say it's just there's not big enough maps, some people say they're too big, there's not enough in them. So when I was talking about the locations and stuff, it was really coming down to that because there's the obviously the capability to do not a 1-to-1 ratio. I feel like that would just be stupid to do a 1-to-1 ratio of something like the United States or Europe. But even a lot of people were talking about wanting a full United States for Fallout, and I kind of was on the line where you guys were, where it was talking about, I think maps need to be denser. Like, it's not so much about how big they are, it's that I feel like everywhere I go, it's something I can do. It's not, I'm just walking in this direction aimlessly doing nothing. Like, there's zero for
Yeah.
me to do here.
Yeah,
And I think
not
that's where, that's a lot where a lot of games like Fallout and I guess Death Stranding, I didn't hear that that's what they were considering it. Are lacking is that they just go for map size, but they forget that it doesn't matter if you have map size. If you keep the density of a small map and then just spread it out to a bigger map, it just makes it feel empty.
Yeah.
So it's more about the going forward, making more of a dense things to
Wasn't-
do map.
Wasn't Grid 2 the entirety of the United States? Or some
Wasn't that
racing
the
game?
Crew?
Yeah,
The Crew too?
Crew.
Wasn't
The
that?
crew.
There
crew-
was some
the crew
game
was-
where it was supposed to be
the
that.
crew was, I believe. It wasn't Grid 2. Grid 2 is not a open world driver.
How would you like? I just feel like it would take way too long.
Well, and
Being-
especially when you talk about games now coming out with I guess uncompleted releases, right? Like they're unfinished games, and I feel like you'd start running into that a lot. The bigger you go with the game, the more likely it's going to be unfinished when it's launched, right?
Yeah. Well, I think we're already probably gonna get what we're asking for with Cyberpunk. Like, I feel like that map is just gonna be it's just gonna be jam packed full of
It
shit.
also depends on the developer, right? That's what I was kind of saying like 5 minutes ago. Is I know a lot of companies, or good companies at least, have been delaying their game, just saying like, "Hey, listen, we're not ready. It's not where it needs to be. We're gonna take a little bit more time." And I appreciate that, as opposed
Yeah.
to a Sea of Thieves or whatever, just releasing a big empty nothing.
Well, and I think with the other thing I'm always worried about, especially with games like Cyberpunk, is I'm always worried to overhype them. I find there's been a lot of games that have come out that I mean I've personally overhyped for myself that have not met my expectations. So it's
Yeah,
like
I mean-
I don't know. I think we got to be careful with saying stuff like that about Cyberpunk. I have high hopes for Cyberpunk that it launches good. It's got a good developer behind it, so I have faith in it. But
and it-
at the same
I
time,
get- I get-
I'm still worried about like overhyping it and then being disappointed in it not meeting expectations.
Yeah, because I guess in today's age, it's even though it is a good developer and you can trust in them. I mean, I think there's a decent amount of developers that you do trust that keep letting us down these days.
Bethesda.
I don't know. They delayed the game by like what 6-8 months. Like that's a large amount of time. Most companies aren't willing to do that.
Isn't it now delayed indefinitely?
No, that's
Well-
Last of Us 2. You might be thinking
Oh,
of.
right. Yeah, sorry, that's
There's that.
something.
But
No,
Cyberpunk,
but I'm with. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say I fully
go for it, Peter.
normally I don't try to believe in games before they come out, but Cyberpunk I am all on board. I fully believe.
See, I'm on
highest
board with
of
it.
expectations.
And I think like I'll probably one of us will pre-order it, Grayden or I.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll get
sure. Oh, perfect. That means I don't have to buy it.
Wow.
But
I pre-ordered it last June.
I just don't. Like I appreciate when games do that, and I think I'm with Grayden where it's like I'd rather you delay a game, get the game right when it launches, and then add things on top of it. So it's not so much that all they're adding after it's launched, if it's been a shitty launch, is they're just adding things to fix what their mess they released. I'd rather them launch a good game and then be able to add to the good game itself. Whereas I feel like now there's been a few games that have launched that have just been shitty launches that I've played anyways.
Any examples?
I mean, Fallout 76 being probably the best example of that. But again, Sea of Thieves was like that, where it's just now becoming a bigger game that's better. I think, Erik, you mentioned No Man's Sky was kind of like that, where the initial launch was shitty, but it's now a pretty good game. And then even Rage 2 was really underwhelming for that. And I mean, two of those were
Did it get
Bethesda. And
fixed? I don't think Rage
Rage
2
2 didn't get fixed. They basically released it and then were like, well, we're done with this. We're moving on.
Yeah.
So I think they're mostly moving on because they have things like in Elder Scrolls 6 that they're working on and bigger projects that I think have a bigger following. Like Rage 2
Well, they
doesn't
had
have
Doom
as big of a
Eternal
following.
coming out.
Yeah, which is also another huge game that they're basically praising. So I don't know. I think it just comes down to delaying to make the game good. Because I feel like more people will respect that. There's gonna be a small portion of people that are like, I can't believe they're delaying another game. But it's like you're just gonna bitch about it if it's released and unfinished, or you're gonna bitch about it with them delaying it. So it doesn't really matter with that group. I don't know. I think it's going to be an important year for people or for game developers, because there's been that decrease. There's been some that have come up really good, but there's been a pretty good decrease.
You know what else I want from gaming? Maybe not this year, but probably more of next year and in the future. VR
Loot
games.
boxes.
No, Erik, you should don't even say that term. But like Half-Life Alyx came out, and that was just like phenomenal. I haven't played it, but I saw it was just a beautifully developed VR game. I'm willing to sell my first child for more VR.
Whoa.
So, like for me with VR, I feel like until it's because that one's the one. Half-Life Alyx, they actually have the gloves, right, where your like individual fingers are moving and everything, right?
That's a headset. It's like that's the Valve Index, so you can play with that, but you don't need to.
Because to me, I feel like until VR is at that point, like holding two controllers in your hand and moving around to me is just not really great. Like until you have that ability to use your hands as you would like your normal hands, I feel like it's
And the Valve Index, it does that. You can throw things, for example, and it feels naturally. When we were playing with the HTC Vive, that was my biggest problem with it. It felt so weird timing some things. But the Index,
Right?
you can do it
Yeah.
just naturally. Ugh.
All right.
No,
calm down.
it's pretty interesting because all I think about all the time is when like PlayStation Move came out and it had the two fucking the two big huge controllers that
Neon
you'd hold with
balls.
yeah.
Yeah, I want VR.
I also want VR. I was talking at work the other day about that, and like the gyrate or whatever the platform that you can run on, and
Oh, like the
I guess there's a
treadmill
new,
thing.
the treadmill thing, the omnidirectional treadmill thing, and I guess there's a belt out there too that's in early development that like senses where you are, and if you crouch, your characters crouch.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that stuff
they'll still
exists.
need sensors around. Like it's really neat because it's similar. There'll be a similar idea where they have the identifiers around the room, and then it just basically links with the belt, and then
Well,
all you have to do is move your body.
I know the HTV
Move your
HTC
body.
Vive for like VR chat. It has full body tracking. That it's an extra, $400. But yeah, you just like put these little things on your one on your hip and one on each leg, so you have full body tracking.
Yeah, it's really neat. Like they use it a lot. I mean, working in the biomechanics labs, we do that a lot, right? Where we're tracking movements of the body. We have all the sensors on every joint. We have sensors on different muscles, and then you can basically, I mean, that's overkill, right? That's like individual muscular movements. But it's the same
I
idea,
want to be
right?
able
Where
to flex
you're
in my
able to
video
get
games.
you're able to get that full body movement, and it's out there. It's just expensive, and until they make it more accessible, it's going to be kind of a disappointment
The thing
for a
about
while, right?
The thing about the treadmills, I want to be able to play for more than like half an hour. I'm gonna fucking
Yeah.
work
Get in
myself
shape.
out. Yeah, no, that's so much work.
You'd almost
Work out
need it
so you can play video games.
You could do something. They could do something where it's like you have the option to use a treadmill, or I don't know, they have those hang belts, but again, they're all restricted on what you have available in your house, right? Because you could have one of those belts that hangs you from the roof and just uses sensors to dictate when you're moving. Because your joints move differently when you're moving backwards, forwards, side to side. So it's like if you have joint sensors, then you can detect that, and you could just have yourself hanging from the roof.
So like one
That's
of those
intense.
baby things.
Yeah.
The legs are kicking out, and you're like, hey.
I mean, really, there's no other way to detect movement unless you're using, I guess, stick to move yourself forward.
What a setup! You're like hanging from the roof just to play video games.
It's gonna be real expensive to play games in the future.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like anything, right? Like things start super expensive until they become more accessible. Like the PlayStation 3 when it launched was like $700. So it was or something stupid. It was like 600 or something dollars. So it's like I don't know. I feel like as things get more refined and easier accessible, things yes, they'll be not inexpensive, but they're not going to be absurd. It's just going to take time for them to become more accessible.
Oh, it's just like
Yeah.
have you guys heard of that? It's like the microprocessor thing, I think, where like over time it gets more and more cheaper and smaller or whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Oh, you mean like more?
No idea what you're talking about.
You get more
Sounds like some
processing per
nanobyte
small
shit.
area of like it doesn't. You can get more in something that's smaller. Essentially, is what
Yeah.
it comes down to, and it ends up being more cost effective in the end. And things get smaller, right? Like the smaller things go, the easier accessible it becomes, and that's when you see a greater range of people having access to it.
Hey, Drew just subscribed with Twitch Prime.
Oh, sick.
Nice.
Thanks.
Hey,
Thanks, Drew. That's like there's so much like doing the VR. I agree. VR is the future of gaming, and you could have some sick, insane stuff. Like, cause then games no longer you wouldn't have necessarily things like look sensitivities and stuff like that. It'd be your reaction time as the indicator of gaming. So it's like if you have a good, for example, let's take Call of Duty Warzone because everyone's playing it right now, and you look at you have people who have different sensitivities, right, in that game. So it'd be purely reflex based and your ability to take in a situation, not just how fast can you turn your stick to the side, right? So I feel like it's going to be really interesting to see how gaming evolves that way too.
I can turn my stick to the side so fast.
If you think about it, all you got to do is click on their head. It's not that hard.
Yeah. When you say it, it's not that hard.
No, it's true, but it's like because it's no different than like going from. I mean, it is different, but it's like going from a controller to a computer, right? It's so much easier to. You don't have that overshoot as much. Like you will, but it's not as bad. And I feel like the more you bring that into like your natural body movement, the easier. Well, it depends who you are, but in theory, the easier it becomes to do that.
Yeah, I'd have such an easier time with like Pokemon if there was no stick sensitivity.
I'd do better at Pokemon if I could just hold my hands over the Pokeball so it couldn't get out.
If you just VR and I can just run up there. Get in the ball! Get in the ball!
And that's when Peter gets killed from a fucking Charmander because it lights him on fire.
I'm not afraid, no Charmander. Hey, Jay.
And for no Charmander.
What about what I mean, what's the game that everyone's kind of excited for this year? I mean, besides Cyberpunk, because I feel like that's already been a unanimously stated
I don't know,
excitement.
I think my games I was excited for have already come out pretty much. I'm not really looking forward to anything else this year, other than what was it? There was some sort of
Might as well just wrap up the year. Yeah, next.
Well, with this coronavirus, the year is gonna be wasted anyways. No, there was something. Oh, the
year is
Battle
wrapped
for
up.
Bikini Bottom. That remake's coming out, so I'm excited for that. I'm totally gonna get that. So I said I'd get the Mystery Dungeon one. I never did.
So you're
I
a
feel like
liar.
that also came out with timing too, right? Because you said that you were gonna either get Animal Crossing or Mystery Dungeon, and you
Yeah, and I
ended up
did
getting
get Animal Crossing, and then I ended up buying Warzone, and then or not buying it, but getting it. And then I ended up buying the whole Call of Duty set, and then I ended up buying a Switch Pro controller, and then, God, there's nothing else to spend my money on, though. I'm not too sad.
Well, like,
I'm
than
not
groceries.
necessarily excited for a specific game. I'm excited for the different online shows that people are coming out with. I know, like Bethesda said, they're not doing one with E3 canceled, but there's other groups that are. I'm excited for that stuff because I'm curious because that's usually where you see a lot of the November releases get announced too, like some surprise November releases. So I'm excited for that.
I mean, I am probably the group's biggest Halo fan, so I'm excited for Halo Infinite later this year.
oh shit!
Is that coming out this year?
Yeah, with the new Xbox. I don't know if you're looking forward to that at all, Evan, but
I'm not looking forward to that because I don't want to buy a fucking $800 fucking console.
you don't have to. Have you heard that? So you guys remember when GTA 5 came out? We bought it all on the 360, and then we had to rebuy it on the Xbox One. Microsoft's released a program where you buy games like on Xbox One, you get the free upgrade to the next gen platform. Halo Infinite and Cyberpunk are two titles confirmed with that feature. So that's really
so
nice.
I could buy them. So I could buy them and then
that's-
still wait to get the next console.
Yeah.
That's
Microsoft
sick.
is
Well, now Evan's
making
excited.
some good decisions. Like I'm very curious.
Well,
to
they
see
have
what their
to.
next
Well,
year's like.
Well, it's like when I
They-
found what I found with the Xbox One when it first came out. Like Eric and I were the first ones to get that out of all of us. And what do you say, Eric? I think it was like almost like 4 months until everyone else started coming on board with it. So it was kind of a lonely time on Xbox One. It was just
I think
like,
so.
I'm worried that like
I
with this
think
new
though
console,
that'll change.
we're gonna lose a lot of boys in the transition to the
No.
next gen. You know.
No, I
No,
don't think
because
we
there's a
will.
lot of cross-platform stuff coming, so I feel like they're gonna also do backwards compatible play. Like, I bet you a few of the games are gonna be able to, like the multiplayer games, you'll be able to play on Xbox One X, Series X, or whatever the fuck it's
I know
called.
PS5's backwards compatibility has what they've announced. It's like pretty disappointing compared to
Yeah.
what Xbox is probably going to do. Because
No,
I
and
think it was just like
that's usually what
PS3 and
it is.
PS4 or something.
It is their turn, right? It's their year because they've alternated almost every year for console wars. So, I mean, technically this
Every
year
year.
is Microsoft or every like console release. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just say I think most people say that PlayStation 4 won this round.
Oh, I don't even think it's a
Yeah.
question.
Whereas like
Yeah,
Xbox 360 won the year before, won the round before that, and then PlayStation 2 won the round before that. I think this from what they've announced anyways, their Xbox is really targeting specifically to be better. Like they're targeting certain systems that the PlayStation's promising and trying to beat them. Like every time I look at some social media post, it's like, yes, Xbox has looked at this and they've done this, or they're promising this, and I think if they hold those promises and they're true and they actually are true to those promises, I think the new Xbox will be pretty dominant this go.
I'm
This
just
go
looking
around.
forward to all those teraflops.
Yeah.
I think it's 12.
I feel like I'm in
Be
the minority, but
terafloppy.
I still really like the design of the actual console too. The refrigerator look.
It's just a PC.
I kind of like that too. Well, it's
I don't know,
actually
I think
kind
it's
of.
just
I feel like
a unique
that's
look
where a lot of hard
for
drives are
a
going,
console,
right?
you know?
I
A lot of hard drives are shaped that way. Like that's kind of where a lot of technology is going. They're building up rather than out.
Yeah, because apparently it's
Cities.
better for venting, I think.
It's better for venting. I mean,
cooling?
at least the hard drives. I know for hard drives they use it for venting and cooling, but I know it's also space,
where
right?
am
Because people are wanting to keep things in smaller areas. Like they don't want to have this huge laid out thing.
I don't know where I'm gonna put this giant thing now.
I don't think
put it right
it's gonna
beside
be
your
that
fucking
giant.
TV.
It's not even big.
Yeah, it's not
Look
it's
at
not
the
it's not the
comparison.
size of a desktop, Peter.
All right.
It's not even
It's-
close to the size
it's
of a
tiny.
desktop.
I think it's around the same thickness, or like it's like probably takes up the same volume as the actual Xbox One. It's just in a different shape.
It's like
Alright,
if
I'm
the
getting out the tape
Xbox
measure.
One and the GameCube had sex.
Oh, nice.
I imagine the
I have
base
a
of it is
small mouse
probably
pad
like
here. I have a small mouse
Probably
pad
like
here.
5
That's
inch
kind of
by
what it
5
looks
inch.
like.
5 to 6
Oh,
inch by 5 to
idiot.
6 inch.
I
Go on.
was like, oh, it's 30 centimeters tall. So I measured 30 inches. I was about to be like, what the fuck is this, Xbox? What do I do
You need
with
to-
this?
Peter,
It's like
Peter.
it's-
Also,
we
would you
hide-
rather the PlayStation 5 shaped in the shape of a V?
No, that's stupid. I don't like that.
With Peter's massive Xbox, they actually recommend that you install it near a window and make sure you have an air conditioner system hooked up right to the console.
Got like screws
Else your
to the
house
wall
will
so it doesn't
melt.
fall over.
Just keep it here, Peter. I'm really good at making stabilized bases out of books and pillows. So let me come over. I'll help you out.
Excuse me?
I'll help you
you
How
seen
do
fix
you
that
it.
specialize
table?
in that?
Yeah, I
It
think Drew
I
thinks
think
the
What are
new
your
I think
Xbox.
this is-
qualifications?
Drew thinks the new Xbox looks clunky.
Well, of course he's
I
gonna
think it
think
looks-
that. He's a freaking PlayStation simp.
He's a PC guy.
The PlayStation looks like
Sim?
something from 1950s.
Oh my god! Subscribe subscribes to us on Prime gets called a simp.
I didn't just call him any simp. I called him a PlayStation simp. Alright, now I gotta look at the stream chat to see what he's gonna say.
No, like the console itself. I don't know.
Drew says,
was-
Evan,
was-
that's true.
It's definitely it's
Love you,
definitely
Drew.
different, the shape of it, and I think that's caught a lot of people off guard. But I literally had my jaw drop when I saw the PlayStation. When we guessed, remember when we had that podcast specifically talking about the new consoles, and we were joking, we were laughing so hard at the new design of the PlayStation 5, and then that was the actual design of the PlayStation 5. I just about shit myself when I heard that, laughing, because I was like, I cannot believe that someone on their design team was like, you know what, guys, here we have this nice shaped, sleek looking PS4. Let's add a V shape for the next one. I think that's gonna make it really look good. And I like
You gotta take some risks.
take risks in other areas, not the way it looks. I feel like people take more of what the console looks like. It looks like shit.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the PS5 design.
No, it looks clunky. It looks fake. Like it doesn't look like it's a real thing.
I mean, at the end of the day, does it really matter though? You're gonna shove it into a cupboard and never look at it.
Well, it's true, but it's like the Xbox. I'm so used to bigger hard drives looking like that it just, yeah, I don't know. For me, it doesn't look that off. It's different from Xbox One X for sure, but when you get one of those 8 terabit hard, like the big, or not 8 terabit, like the 10, 12 terabit hard drives, that's what they look like. They're literally a standing rectangle. So I don't know. It looks not too bad for me. I'm not too worried about that aspect of it.
I can't even tell you how worried
What?
I am.
I know you're worried, Peter, but
When are these
a
consoles supposed to come out? The holiday season, right? This
holiday
year?
season, so probably November, end of November-ish.
But there's rumors that they might be delayed just because of everything that's going on in the world.
Oh, I
Oh,
believe
yeah,
it.
it will.
I'd rather them delay it. Again, just like games, I'd rather them delay it and have it come out good than just release it and be like, hey, look, all you can do
Wow.
is stream sports while you play games.
I think this one is not them trying to make it good, just the fact that the supply chain's all fucked up and they can't get anybody into the office to actually work on it.
True.
But I think that example stands for games because it kind of is like, it's essentially saying, hey, we actually care about making games, so we want to make sure this is good versus, hey, all we care about is making money, so this is coming out now. Here we go.
Yeah.
Did I just hear Bethesda in the chat?
I hope that they take this time to recover.
Oh yeah, sorry. Drew said real talk. Who cares what the console looks like? Controllers are the big deal. Xbox is still using AA batteries in the new Xbox. Are you? Are we?
Yeah, but did you see why? They
What
said that? They
batteries do
wanted
you
to be
want
more
them
accessible.
to use?
I
Peter,
want them
Peter,
to,
they
I
use-
want to
Peter,
plug in the controller,
they-
and I want it to
they-
charge. I don't want to buy batteries
Plug
that
it
are too
in the
fucking
controller,
expensive.
Have it
I'm
charged.
Peter.
It does that.
Peter.
Yeah, you
What?
literally just need a battery
Oh, my
pack
goodness.
and then the charger, and it does
Why
that.
do I need
it's
to
literally
buy a third-party accessory?
Peter.
Why do
not
I need to
third-party
buy
accessory.
gas
Can I
to drive
say
my
something?
car? I
Oh
hate
my
that
god, why
so
doesn't the
much.
car just come with gas? Oh.
Can I defend Xbox here for a second
What's
against
wrong
Peter's
with me wanting
onslaught?
to make a one-time purchase? What is wrong with that?
Peter, the
That's
point
not the way the
point
world
behind.
works, Peter.
Can I?
Jared, you're
I'm gonna
allowed to
fucking-
speak. I am
I'm
upset.
gonna fucking leave this podcast.
I'm pacing around.
Okay, so the reason because they said they made a statement about why they chose to do that, Peter.
Yeah, I
It's
want to
not
hear Phil Spencer. Come on, speak to me.
they said their statement was to make it more accessible to people and allow people to use their stuff that they already have, so they didn't have to buy extra stuff.
What? The mass
other thing they're
surplus
doing-
of AA batteries?
The other thing they're doing, and this is what most companies will do, is they'll most likely release a rechargeable version of it, and they're just making it the initial launch so people don't have to go buy a bunch of stuff on top of that.
Why
Peter.
Why can't it just be like the PS4 controller where I can just plug it in?
Because
and
not
charge it?
not everyone's part of the 1%, Peter.
Hey Peter, here's a question
Wow.
for you. For the PS4 controller, what happens when the battery starts to deteriorate? You have to buy
have to
a
get a
whole
new
new
controller.
controller?
Oh wow! Wow! What a terrible design flaw. Oh, Joy-Con. It's the same thing.
I'm with Peter actually on this one. I want rechargeable batteries.
Drew has never
They're
had
there.
battery problems.
There are rechargeable
I
batteries.
literally have a rechargeable controller pack. Like,
Yeah, so do I.
Peter,
I had to buy it
Peter,
separately.
you guys have elite. You have elite controllers. Those
Yeah.
elite pro controllers. Those are rechargeable. They come rechargeable.
And I like it that way. But when I buy a new console, I don't want to have to buy another controller that I have to charge with.
Why would you have
Then
to buy
buy
another
the
controller when
battery
you just use your
pack.
same Elite controller?
I want to make a
Yeah,
one-time
but why would you have to
purchase.
buy a new controller if you have an Elite controller already? That means that you already have a rechargeable controller that'll work for the other console.
I didn't know they were transferable. I thought they were
Yeah,
new
the
controllers.
Elite controllers are going to be. Are you kidding?
Is that the old Elite controller or the new Elite controller? Both.
Oh, I don't know. I'd say both, but I could be wrong. I'm not gonna
Great
make any
use you are,
promises on it.
Jared.
Well, sorry, Peter. I didn't realize that we were fucking hailing you and doing your bidding.
Hey, I hate buying batteries. They're too expensive. And I shouldn't
Yeah.
have to buy another accessory. I shouldn't. That is bullshit.
But
so angry.
Peter,
And Grayden shouldn't have to pay to install new internet lines to his house, but he has to.
Peter, you're making the argument. You're making the argument that the Pokemon stands were making about the ridiculousness of the DLC. So you're saying you don't want to buy a battery pack? Well, I mean, I think it's ridiculous these days that consoles don't come with TVs or they don't come with
That's a
internet.
stupid
internet
argument, and you
subscriptions.
know it.
I can't believe it. This is so
That is a
dumb. Why do I have
stupid
to buy
argument.
all these third-party things in order to get my Xbox to
Ah,
work? Like, it's
Evan
ridiculous.
does this all the time. He reaches so far to make his point.
Here, this is
It's called the
because
Jarrod Strawman argument.
when I
Was a wee
because
boy in
with
England.
PS3, I mean PlayStation's been using rechargeable batteries or rechargeable controllers since at least PS3, and they had wired controllers with PS2, but I don't know, I haven't noticed, like, after getting my Xbox controllers with a rechargeable battery, I haven't noticed any much of a difference. And then they give you a controller with the console anyway, so technically all you're doing is paying for like the rechargeable battery, which is no different than you guys going out and buying an Elite controller. I also thought it was my understanding that the new console was going to come with an Elite controller.
No, it's not coming with a $200 controller. It's
Maybe
coming
for
with
an extra.
the new generation of controllers, which is essentially just the grips are a little bit different.
Oh, I don't know. To me, it's not enough of an inconvenience to really irritate me.
See, this is why Nintendo
I'm so used to
loves
the current way of controllers where I have to put in a rechargeable battery.
Nintendo loves its fan base because no matter what it does, all it has to do is make it so that the GameCube controller can attach to the new console, and then they're done. No complaints anymore.
It's just Microsoft making you pay a little bit. It's just like, ooh, here's another $20 for us, yay!
Okay, but
Welcome
like,
to
the
capitalism.
PlayStation,
It's
the PlayStation is
inconvenience
reportedly going to
for
be
me.
the PlayStation is reportedly going to be like $200 more than the Xbox. So it
Worth
kind
it.
of
So what?
So a controller, just to get a rechargeable controller, Grayden, you will pay $200.
you're spending $200
extra.
more dollars.
Yes, because at the end of the day, I'm either going to go out and buy another rechargeable controller for the other console, or over the course of time, I will buy that many batteries.
I mean,
Also,
Why
even
not get a
Pro
rechargeable
Controller-
battery? Then
You
you'll
know
get
what?
that-
I've
Even
lived the
Nintendo's-
battery life, and
Even Nintendo's
the
Pro-
inconvenience is terrible. It's like, oh, I'm out
Nintendo's-
of batteries, can't play games today.
So my
Just try
rechargeable
plug it,
battery,
but you can still plug
my
it in
rechargeable
without
battery-
anything in the controller and just have it as a wired system.
What is it? 2005?
My rechargeable battery I've had since I first got my Xbox One, and they have both not died yet, and they both cost me like, I think, $40 each. That's
Yeah, but
still
you shouldn't
cheaper.
have to
That's
pay for
still-
that, though.
That's still cheaper than paying $200 extra for a console. And if I heard Peter correctly, he's all about the less expensive bang for your buck.
I don't care about
Because
like,
every
the
other
price is one
argument,
thing,
because
but
every other
I care about
argument that Peter
convenience.
talks about is bang for your buck. So he's literally saying that he would rather pay the $200, and that's not the best
I
bang for
did
your
not
buck.
say anything about this. That is
Peter's not
Grayden's
even
argument.
getting a
Don't rope
PlayStation,
me
Jarrod.
in.
Peter's not getting a PlayStation, he's getting an Xbox. He wouldn't
Yeah.
betray us.
I'm never buying a PlayStation. No offense to the PlayStation, but I already have a big library on Xbox. Why would I pay all this money so I can play fucking Last of Us? Ugh.
Hey,
Sure,
there's
this is a great game.
says
You know what?
Grayden. He did that.
I have to side with Jarrod. Peter and Grayden on this one actually now, because I'm looking at the Pro controller
What?
that I just recently purchased, and even the Pro controller for the Nintendo Switch is a rechargeable controller, no batteries at all. So you know what? I think Xbox could do it too.
I dare it.
But is
I like arguing with people for no reason.
How did
Jarrod?
this turn fucking against me when I was on Evan's side and then
They haven't switched sides.
Have you
Evan's a
not ever
turncoat.
been in an argument with Evan? Evan's an wild card. It's like you never know what's gonna happen with Evan. He's just gonna have a conversation like, oh, Xbox and TVs. Actually, Jarrod, I'm your enemy now.
That's how you do it. You gotta learn the weaknesses. You gotta think. You gotta.
all right.
Like,
gotta
oh man,
open your mind.
my
this
final-
tides are
here's my
turning. I
final
better
statement.
jump side. Ship.
Here's my final statement on this whole argument. Yes, having a rechargeable controller was nice when I had PlayStation 3 because Peter is 100% correct. You don't have to buy extra batteries for it.
Oh, that was a great statement. I love that.
But at the same time, it's not inconvenient enough to me for me to really concern myself about it. But I also think that yes, they could make their standard controller rechargeable and it wouldn't really cause an issue. Like you'd still get the battery life out of it. Rechargeable battery packs have the same rechargeable life as a controller, and you could easily incorporate that. They'd maybe lose like $50, and not even. They probably could just incorporate into the price. To be honest.
Guys,
Also,
I just
just
learned-
better for the environment.
I've learned something just in this moment, just with a quick Google search. that I think is going to blow this
Oh,
whole
boy.
case wide open. Rechargeable
Blow it open.
controllers are essentially just battery controllers with a built-in battery pack. So, really,
What did you think
the
they
same thing.
They were nuclear reactors.
Rechargeable controllers have batteries that are rechargeable.
I thought they were powered by the power of friendship.
If you have no friends on Xbox, your controller doesn't work.
Just sending out mass messages. I need to charge my controller. Please add me as a friend.
Oh no.
You know
What
what?
was
You know
it?
what? You can speak, Evan.
Oh no, sorry. I was talking to Brendan last night about enchanting in Minecraft, and you can actually like recharge your pickaxe by collecting more experience with a certain enchantment. And I was like, just thought briefly to myself, what controller in real life was that you could do that with?
What do you mean recharge your pickaxe enchantment? What does that mean?
There's an enchantment in Minecraft where, because you can have the unbreaking enchantment, which it'll never break, or you can have like, I think that's what it is, mending, Shuckle says. And as you gather experience, it'll fix your pickaxe slowly.
Us
Yeah.
Minecraft boomers.
And there's so much new shit to Minecraft.
You know, I think the Xbox should just use Joy-Cons.
Oh my god.
I literally had to get this Pro controller because my Joy-Con drift was getting so bad that even Courtney was getting pissed off. She was trying to hit the rock in Animal Crossing, and she kept missing it because the Joy-Con drift would occur, and she was like, "Fuck, this is bullshit."
Sounds
So-
like she's just
Send him to Nintendo. I sent mine in and I got them back pretty quick. And
What's the
They're Gucci
definition
now.
of pretty quick?
Can you
Like,
send me what the address is for that and how I need to do that?
I think that I honestly think that games like we were just talking about Minecraft. I think games like that are the definition of evolving with time. Like, it's still a relevant game. And
That's just because the kids like it.
yeah, but that's
Well,
the thing.
it's also pretty
addresses multiple-
timeless.
are
No,
we?
but not,
it
it is
addresses-
timeless. Everyone loves it.
Yeah,
People
it
of all
addresses
ages play it.
multi-generation.
And their dogs.
Look,
And their
it's,
dogs.
even Reddit defends it now. Reddit used to hate Minecraft, and now they think it's like the pride and joy of their lives versus like Fortnite is the toxic waste cesspool.
I honestly think people like you need when it comes down to it, games need longevity, and I don't think that's what's taken in consideration when with a lot of developers. Like certain developers do, but not a lot of developers take in longevity.
Can I
Well, that's
just
because
point out?
developers don't want to have longevity because they, like, I mean, if you look at Minecraft, Minecraft has, I mean, other than the fact that it sells millions of copies of its game on every platform, like even on the Samsung refrigerator, but like they also have microtransactions, which allows it to be like a lifelong game, you know?
I think it's one of the few games that people don't bitch about microtransactions.
I don't really care about them because it's all cosmetic shit for like
Yeah.
and
And I
packs.
guess that's where it really changes the difference with microtransactions is that it's not needed for progress, whereas other games it's like you'll need it to get a decent amount of progress.
Breakpoint.
Did you buy the diamond pack?
Can you? You
Got something to say, Peter? No, I was just joking.
You know, I want a battle pass in Minecraft.
Battle Pass.
Can I
So
just
is
say-
that something? Is
Before-
that
before
something?
we get
Is that something
too
you guys
far
want to
away.
see done in new games? Is like passes and
Battle passes
And-
is way better than loot boxes.
If-
I will,
if we're
Give
gonna
me
do this-
more free access to battle passes if I've paid for the full price of the game.
If we're gonna do this,
so what if they
whole-
did something like this? What if they did like sorry, Evan, you go. You've been trying to.
No,
talk
I'm
here
just
for a
saying
little
if we're gonna do this whole server thing, continuing on, I think we should definitely do a Hunger Games video. Bring it back.
Yeah.
The 7 live connection
Um,
members versus each other.
I
You
agree.
know,
I think that'd be
don't
so
know.
fun.
Everyone would know I would win, so is there even a point to watching a video?
Peter,
Peter, I can't wait till
Peter,
you find my trap.
It would be the fastest alliance in Hunger Games history to fucking smite
all
you from
six of-
Earth.
yeah, all six of us
creating an alliance to take down
hunt
Peter.
down Peter.
That is Hunger Games.
Beers
You
with the
can work
boys.
with other people. That's part of the game.
Yeah, you
Actually,
just have to be the
the-
last person standing. It doesn't matter how, or you just have to boycott until they, or you have to try to say that you will both kill yourselves, and then they'll cave.
The home I'm building right now would be perfect for a Hunger Games area.
I'm also building something for recording.
Okay,
That a couple things recording. But anyways, back to just quickly.
Do you think that
finish up?
that should be on the server, or should that be on a private thing?
No, that the servers, how the servers on PC generally work is like there's like the survival, there's like multiple hubs you can go into. So one would be like the games
okay.
hub, where it's a variety of Hunger Games and break the sand from under people and they fall into lava game, all of those.
Well, no, that's
I
not the
love that
PC
game.
one. Well, we're doing the upgrade on.
Classic.
Well, I guess we still got to talk about it, but
Yeah, I
anyways,
didn't realize Evan's making decisions. Ooh.
Okay, so can I make my one last point about just kind of catering towards what Erik said, where he's like, you'd want to get like the battle pass for free when you buy the game. Would you even say that if you bought the game, you could buy the battle pass for half price at the same time you bought the game?
No,
So,
fuck
like-
that. Just give me the battle pass.
Fair enough. I'm just thinking because I doubt they're ever going to change that now because of the fact that it is an income thing.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, to me, it's like even if they did a deal like that, where it's like if you bought the game on launch, you could get the battle pass for half price, or if you pre-order the game, you get the battle pass for free, or something like that, just to give incentive to pre-order games. I don't know, because again, I hate loot boxes that are basically you need to buy the loot box in order to progress in the game, and that's to me, it's like I don't even mind progressing slower in the game without the loot box, but it's when you need it to progress that's really irritating.
I feel like we've kind of moved away from the pre-order world. I don't think a lot of people do that anymore.
I think that's
There's no
just
point
you.
to.
I think we've been soured. I think we've been soured by fucking
No,
bad games.
there's no point to. The only incentive is to get like these deals that the different retailers can give out for like different skins or like packs or whatever. But like, I mean, the idea
like
of a
collector
pre-order
stuff.
back, yeah, and collector's stuff. But the original idea of the pre-order was to reserve your copy because they were going to run out of copies day one. So you reserved it, and then that way you got it right at midnight. You stood in line, got your copy secured, went home and played the game. Now you don't need to do that because they have an infinite amount of copies of the games with digital downloads. So you just download it, install it early. That's the only reason why you'd pre-order, is to have it installed for launch. And then launch comes out, and you probably already got to update it anyways because there's a launch update.
And this is why Grayden doesn't pre-order anymore because he just has to update anyways, so he might as well
Yeah.
install the full thing later. Oh man, that's funny. Sorry, Grayden, I know
So-
that's not funny to you, but that's funny.
That's a really sore subject, you know. Just can't have nice things in this world.
Leafy
World's
is here,
ending, I
says,
can't even fucking do
pre-ordered this dick.
Ooh.
Okay,
Okay.
I thought that was good content for the podcast.
Eric and I are on.
I'm gonna throw a couple happy Peters in the chat just for that.
Dang. So a while back, Evan mentioned having to buy the Pro controller because of Switch Joy-Cons, and we all kind of moved past it. But I was just thinking, if Matt was here, man, we'd be on a a different path of just shitting on Nintendo for having crap products and forcing other people to buy their other thing just so it works.
Well, I think once again, I'll say it again, I'll defend Nintendo. I think Nintendo, other than like they have hiccups here because Nintendo's not perfect. For some reason, they're just dumb. But they've been killing it. They have just
No, they've been great.
absolutely. I think the Switch might be winning the console wars this generation, man. Like they are
100%.
absolutely
100%.
decimating the competition right now.
I was just
mean, you
reading.
can't-
They're
Get
also
a
a new,
Switch
they're also
anymore.
a newer console.
They're
though,
all sold
right?
out everywhere.
Yeah, what console can be sold out 3 years after it's been out? I mean, I granted
PlayStation 2 ran
with
through
the
that.
Get out of here.
I
I'm
was,
not serious. I'm pretty sure the PlayStation 2 did that. I'm just saying.
The BioShock and Borderlands games are coming to Switch. I just read that.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Man, it's only
Here's the thing
I
for
might
me.
get
Discord.
Borderlands just because I'm a Borderlands.
Yeah, where do you
fanboy,
think I
but-
got it from?
Here's
You're a
the thing
capitalist
that I
slave, Erik. As
like,
a
I
millennial,
know,
I have
like-
Minecraft. I have Minecraft on every console: PC, Switch, Xbox.
Which
See, and
one?
I'm hypocritical because it's like I did that with Minecraft as well, but it's like
two
to
in
me
the pre-sequel, Peter.
it's like certain games I won't buy like most games I won't buy multi-platform, and I think that's like the Switch coming out with games. I think it's great if that's your main console or if you are like a super hardcore fan of something. But besides that, it tailors very niche in my opinion.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. Nightbot.
You're
just was
laughing
like,
at the Nightbot.
I was laughing at the Nightbot, and Leafy was here some media like, shut the fuck up, Nightbot. Just very appropriate.
Nightbot's doing its job very nicely.
I hate Nightbot. If I could destroy one bot in this world, it wouldn't be Skynet. It would be Nightbot.
What is?
Nightbot is
What if-
Skynet.
Yeah.
That's
Is that
all that
Sorry,
needs
Eric,
to
did I
be said.
steal
What
your
if?
thunder on that one?
Yeah.
Wow.
Man, well, I guess that's about it for the podcast.
I was
No, it's
right.
not.
There's a topic that took up the whole podcast.
Good job.
Well, I mean, was it one topic? We kind of bounced around.
No, but I was
Wow,
talking,
thanks
I was
a
talking
lot,
about gaming
Jarrod.
and going forward, and it was gaming going forward.
Next
Yo, that was
time
a
you
good
bring
topic you brought to the table, Evan.
up, yeah, thank you. No.
Great
let me
idea,
finish. Next time, Jarrod complains about someone's topic taking up a chunk of the podcast. I'll remind him of podcast number 43,
Oh my god.
where Jarrod had to use his topic for the entire podcast. Jeez, Jarrod, I think we need to put a 5-minute timer on you.
Just like
I think
I
Evan,
agree.
you've been the one to complain about the people's topics the most, or Peter.
excuse me?
You sit
Yeah,
there.
Peter
with
Peter
your,
doesn't
just
like it.
complains all the time.
you just sit there with your squirt gun.
Peter gatekeeps our topics. If he doesn't like it, he's like, "No, we're moving on. Sorry,
Okay,
boys."
no. No, that is completely wrong. Do not slander what I do on this podcast. I get the squirt gun out if we're going on too long about economics, for example, Evan. Do you think
What
the
about
people in the
giants?
chat are here for economics talk?
Maybe.
They
No.
could be.
The answer is no. You failed that multiple
They
choice
could be.
option.
That's true and false, you dumbass.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Peter's not. Peter, you need to learn to make tests.
I take tests. I don't make tests. Come on, guys.
Well, if that's how you take tests, we need to have a talk.
True or false? Blah 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 blah. C.
Puts in a short answer.
Okay, it's not my fault. I go above and beyond. Okay. There might not be a box to write in. I can just write beside the question in the margins. Okay.
Circles the option below all of the above. It's true and false.
All right, Jarrod, you did our beautiful, beautiful intro. So why don't you give us an equally beautiful outro?
All right. Well, thanks for joining us on podcast number 43. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any thoughts on our topics of gaming in 2020 and further, please leave it in the comment section below. Check out our Discord. The link's down in the description.
Comment
As
below
well
on
as-
Twitch. Thank you, Grayden.
Peter, give Jarrod the respect you hope he gives you when you do an
He
intro or
doesn't
outro.
give me it though.
Oh wow.
Very rude.
Friends.
So much anger.
All right.
Jarrod, anything else to add on? Are you done?
Please follow us on our various social media platforms.
I think Jerry might have just crushed his Yeti mug out of pure anger.
I hope so.
We're still working on firing Peter.
It's not gonna happen.
I'm fast tracking it to CRA.
All right.
All right, bye.
See you guys. We're streaming again
Bye-bye.
tomorrow. Don't fire
Bye.
Peter.